full gamut of Protoss play. The boss toss, the Obama toss, the best toss in the world. It is SKMC.
Spawning up to the top right-hand corner, he needs your support. One game down here in the group stages versus SKMC. Spawning as our Bluezer, give it up for Dignitas's KiLLeR.
I just want something crazy out of KiLLeR.
You just
I want something insane.
Mad. Well,
I want
Daybreak.
a one-base rush to Nidus Network. That's what I want to see.
Yeah? I'm not so sure that will work out too well against SKMC. But, you know.
Okay, a two-base Nidus Network rush.
Okay.
I mean, it can work out very nicely, actually, on this specific map because of this wide-open natural space. You go for the two-base play, you go for a Nidus Worm and Hydralisk. And you can actually, even if you don't get into the main, you just Nidus Network right here, and you shove it as front, and Protosses will be caught with their pants down.
And there's always something that really complements that. One queen or one creep tumor. Let's just kind of keep that going to be able to allow those Hydralisks that extra little bit of mobility at the front, allowing them to be... I mean, we're talking about this in a hypothetical world. Let's not beat around the bush. I don't think we're really going to see that occur here, but
actually,
it can be very, very strong.
We won't see that here, but you know what? Let's just get the basic analysis out of the way. Forge first, he's going to expand, he's going to get two geysers, he's going to do something like Air or Robo. Cool, we got Protoss out of the way. Never mind, he's cannon rushing. It's a cannon rush. Okay, let's see if KiLLeR's going to spot it.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, that was a slight deviation to what we were considering early on. Trust the boss toss to make us look a little bit silly to begin with.
Oh man.
But actually, this finish.
He messes up. Oh, this is a... MC intentionally attacks his own pylon, so that way he can delay. He wanted that hatchery to finish, so that way he would have to way overcommit to it, but KiLLeR's going to have to go cancel. He's going to have to re-expand here. Second photon cannon down for MC, the just-in-case cannon.
But you're right, though. Normally, these cannons end up finishing at a time where the hatchery just finishes, just peaks out, so you get that guaranteed damage, or potential guaranteed damage, unless your opponent is extremely formidable about dealing with it. For now, though, KiLLeR going down to his second position here, and he's actually going to try and establish at the front, which is very, very risky going into later stages.
Oh, gosh. MC will almost certainly go Air now. There is no way to join all these different positions with creep.
It's a very... Oh my god.
He finds it. Oh, excellent.
And she's like, oh, okay, I'll cancel the pylon then. And for now, you're right though. It's very difficult to get creep between these two bases as well as your main. I think it's even difficult to get creep just between these two bases, never mind the main and those two bases themselves. So he has this lurking presence. And KiLLeR at this point though, he needs to assume that this is coming. Because he's so spread out, he needs the defenses there to be able to deal with this thoroughly, because otherwise, if he takes a little bit of damage, these two bases on the outskirts of his main are way more vulnerable than they would have been if this, this fourth one had been at this location to be able to defend against, big warp gate tech.
And, actually, speaking of big warp gate tech, this is kind of an interesting position for MC. He's taking just one geyser. Oh, yep, there's the Air. I was going to say, there's only two things that you really do with just three geysers. One is go Air. The other is go for some cool Twilight timings, but alas. And KiLLeR, I just wanted to note something cool that has nothing to do with this game, but is still cool enough for me to interject.
Okay, go.
You can 7-pool your opponent. Very common way to kill off this good old pylon forge thing.
Yes.
And because you get the early queen, you send the queen over to his base.
Wait a minute.
And then you build a hatch with a drone at his base, cancel it, and then on that creep, then you drop a creep tumor. So you can 6-pool and then creep the front of his base immediately.
That must take so on which map? Like Ohana, for example? That would be a good map to do it on, I guess.
It works fine on Daybreak. It works
They get over there that quickly?
Valley. Yeah, if you start sending it early enough. I mean, it takes a while to get there, but you've 6-pooled him. So he's locked into his base, around the time when he has, like, a Zealot out.
Yeah.
Now you've planted a creep tumor, so it's a cool way to...
I really want to try this now. But
It's really good. I strongly recommend it to anyone on the ladder.
fantastic. So, for now, let's get back to this game as we do have SKMC ramping up that. Actually, he already has. Oh, he went double Stargate. Oh, and he's making tons of Void Rays.
Nice. I love it.
Uh-oh.
Absolutely love it. If your opponent is that spread out on creep, he
Yeah.
desperately needs to be joined together, and we're seeing an attempt. I mean, KiLLeR still may do this.
Oh, wow. Yeah, actually, he's doing a really good job of connecting these bases with the creep, considering the position that he finds himself in. So the Queens will be able to reinforce these bases, but again, he's actually going to follow this up with Phoenix after the Void Rays are finished. So going with 3 Void Rays, very, very devastating in themselves if they're able to establish themselves position on Queens when they're not bunched up. And especially if he actually hits before Spore Crawlers go up, that could be very, very devastating in itself. But look at this, he's actually adding on additional Queens here and bringing them to the front to be able to fend off this attack at this angle.
Gosh, MC is not missing a beat. He is going mass Phoenix, mass Void Ray. He's going to be following it up with a Twilight Council tech to get those Blink Stalkers up into the action, but KiLLeR's looking reasonably well established in this position. I wouldn't be surprised to see KiLLeR be able to deflect this with some nice control, but these 2 Queens are going to have to get back. Oh, all 3 Queens are going to be caught totally off guard, and it looks like he's going to be lifting 1, and it looks like it's just 1 for now.
Doesn't have any energy for transfuses on the other Queens right now, and those 3 Void Rays actually charged up could do significant damage here, and indeed they will start powering down this first Spore Crawler as the 2 Queens were completely negated by the lifts from MC. Really nice use of those Phoenix. The last Queen does fall. The reinforcing Queen comes along with the Spore Crawler, but this is looking devastating for KiLLeR right now.
Oh, and he loses the charge on one of them, but KiLLeR, looks like MC got a little overeager and loses 2 Void Rays.
I'm surprised he didn't start focusing down that Spore Crawler there instead of chasing after the Queen. But back at home, he's just been building up a lot of gateways. He's researching that charge. Pathogen Glands is on the way, as well as Glory Constitution here for Dignitas's KiLLeR. And he could potentially stabilize off this. Unit counting station, only 51 drones right now to the 54 probes. So he really, really needs to establish some kind of economy. But how is he going to do that with the looming threat of this big gateway push?
I do think that if KiLLeR just goes straight Hydra, he'll do that. That'll be the big win move. But this composition, this Roach, Ling, and Fester, it kind of works on the assumption that your opponent is going Sentry, Immortal, Stalker. That is how it became a popular composition. But we're seeing MC do the exact opposite. He's doing something, just everything but standard, lifting all these Queens, taking them out. KiLLeR must get a lot of Hydras up.
Oh, and the Templar Archives is on the way now as well, so we're going to see some potential Archon charge lot here against the Zerg. And KiLLeR did check the 3rd location of his opponent and saw no Nexus. So he has to, Fungal clipping those Phoenix there. But he has to assume right now that there's still some aggression coming on, so he has to continue producing units. But he's suddenly further down in supply than MC is. This is looking really, really difficult for KiLLeR.
MC, oh my god, lifting infested Terran eggs, that's kind of bold. And here come the Speed Zealots heading straight to the front lines. KiLLeR caught completely off guard.
Oh, he committed so much to the Spore Crawlers, he really had to be very apprehensive about throwing down spines, and now these Zealots are getting a ridiculously good trade-off against these Zerglings that do not have the +1 carapace here, even picking up individual Roaches here with the Phoenix just to be able to negate the damage being done by them, but actually he's going to go for Storm with these High Templars, so this could be even more devastating. And he's going now for the 3rd, which is a late 3rd here, but after all the damage he's actually done, I think it's not too bad a deal.
You know, the 3rd timing I'm fine with for MC, but I think the Templar Storm is a big mistake. I mean, Zealot Archon is an excellent combination. And in fact, in probably in low to mid numbers, Archons are way better than Storm, just pound for pound. More damage gets dealt, more versatility, less variance. Oh my god, that's suicidal. Void Ray. I mean, KiLLeR is in an excellent position to just wreck MC in this match.
I think the reason he may have gone for Storm is after seeing the Infestation Pit tech, Infestors are notoriously difficult to deal with as they do lock down the Archons as well. Archons massive units, yes, but fungal growthing Archons in position can be really, really annoying for a player going Zealot Archon. So that might be one of the reasons behind actually going for the Storm. And for now, we will have the Hive on the way here for Dignitas's KiLLeR, as well as the Spire. I must say, I actually really like this timing, despite him only being at 115 supply.
Yeah, I do think this Hive timing is in general, a great little move from KiLLeR. One thing that's a little concerning for MC is that he's put himself into a mega passive position by going for that Archon with Storm Tech. Excuse me, that Templar with Storm Tech. Now trying to tech up to 11 gateways. Has he researched Blink yet? No, he may very well just continue to go Zealot. Nope, there's the Blink Tech, and oh, wow, KiLLeR with the money fungal, and will he get the remainder? He continues to get most of them, and he misses the last fungal.
Oh, did you see that? He picked up the one Infestor that had enough energy to be able to refungal, so it wouldn't be able to do so. That was a really nice little move there by MC, saving those Phoenix.
What a clean little micro play. I mean, MC just knowing how to conserve every unit in seemingly every situation. Hive now getting close to done, an extra evolution chamber being added on. Phoenix is always skirting back by that Zell Naga watchtower.
And for now we have the Blink +3 on the way here for SKMC. Robo facility going down here to be able to get that at least one observer out would actually be quite useful here for MC. If there was some kind of burrow timing for any given reason coming out here from KiLLeR, then he would have been dead a little bit ago. But for now, Greater Spire morphing in for KiLLeR, and even adding on a second evolution chamber at this very late stage in the game to continue those upgrades.
Well, it looks like KiLLeR's going to be almost happy to see an expansion here. Greater Spire's halfway done. First Robo facility of the entire game now done, allowing one observer to be built. There's the Robo base, so soon enough Colossus will be in the mixture. And at this point we have 6 High Templar out on the field. These Phoenixes still being annoying. But oh my god, KiLLeR out of nowhere got 11 Infestors, just nabbed a bunch of Phoenixes. And I actually think this is a good idea to use all the energy that you possibly have on those Phoenixes. Even if there were no Corruptors there, just continuing to fungal.
Yeah, may as well lock them down. Again, they've still been such a hindrance here for KiLLeR. KiLLeR really needs to actually shut this annoyance down. It's constantly if it's not actually doing direct damage, it's keeping him pinned in the back of his base here. Even picking up another Queen here, so KiLLeR going to end up losing that, losing a little bit of lava. But at the same time, Fleet Beacon going down for MC.
Oh, there's the double production of the Colossus right next to each other. No range even started yet, but look at this. I mean, KiLLeR is just going to have the beeline path straight to his opponent's base. I see in my production tab, yes, the sounds of 7 morphing Broodlords. MC does have his 4th up, and thank God it has the 2 gas geysers there, because otherwise MC would be feeling super cramped. KiLLeR doing an excellent job of taking his extra bases, and again, KiLLeR is just looking poised to close this game out with one big push.
Yeah, KiLLeR's actually been able to apply himself with that 5th base down to the bottom right-hand corner very easily. I'm quite surprised that MC actually hasn't put on some aggression down that path. But again, he's playing a very similar style to game number 1. He's content, by the looks of things, to sit back here, just to have those 2 Robo facilities churning out those Stalkers, Colossi even, and from now, KiLLeR spreading that creep through the middle of the map, and he's going to bring his Spine Crawlers with him, I feel, here, to be able to just really, really bring the aggression onto MC and make it very difficult for him to blink onto this composition, focus down those Infestors or those Broodlords.
Looks like a rogue pack of Zealots heading down to top, heading down to south. A neat little play by MC. He's trying to buy himself time because he is adding on 8 more gateways. Oh my gosh, MC. With some really slick timing, the Infestors actually getting themselves into a vulnerable spot. But KiLLeR excellently cleans up both sides.
Yeah, very, very nice little defense here from KiLLeR. He's setting himself up to the point where it's going to be difficult for MC to really get that aggression going. He's already got Spine Crawlers positioned in his main. Maybe not enough to deal with Warp Prism Zealot charge harassment. That can always be a very, very huge factor in that kind of play. But look at this. KiLLeR already spreading his Broodlords a little bit here, just in anticipation for when he starts pushing forward. It's so important to have that spread here going up against the likes of MC. One Vortex can mean absolute doom here for KiLLeR.
And now we do see the 19 gateways having finished up for MC. MC, manages to sneak in a blink, picking off one of those annoying little Broodlords. MC now intentionally clearing up the center himself. And once these battles start going down, MC's actually going to be able to warp in a full round of 20 Zealots if he needs to.
That could be absolutely insane, especially if he was to, again, mix in double Warp Prism here, exploiting the immobility of those Broodlords and those Infestors. That would be so great for MC. But KiLLeR is doing a really good job of stabilizing here on these 5 base. MC still relegated to that 4 base, and he's even morphing in 7 more Broodlords.
Gosh, he's going to be at 14 with 14 Infestors along with it. We see the +3, +2 upgrades coming for those ground units.
And that second Spire finishes up here. A few more Overseers on their route here to be able to actually rendezvous with this frontal force. Really needs that detection out over at this location very, very quickly. Right now we have 14 Infestors and 13 Broodlords here trying to deal with that. Another nice blink forwards here by MC to try and pick off one Broodlord, and indeed it did go down. But he's still getting so many upgrades out here, KiLLeR. If MC isn't careful, these upgrades are really going to crush through the Protoss force.
And here comes the big deadly force, and the Zerg mothership. KiLLeR manages to nab MC's mothership, throw down a vortex on all the Protoss units, and MC's force is about to pop out. And look at all the infested Terrans getting into position. And he fungles the whole Protoss army. Look at the storms just burning every single one of those infestors down. More storms, but MC just lost his entire army. 14 Broodlords now steaming forward.
Oh, KiLLeR demolishing MC there. So many good fungals on the rest of that force as it was coming out of the Vortex. And again, he lost a lot of investors there to those Colossus instantaneously as they popped out as well. But it was worth it as KiLLeR now pushing forward, raining down terror on this expansion of MC. Storm goes down, but it's not really going to be a factor as that is so many Broodlords here doing a lot of damage. But he blinks forward, going to be able to focus down a few of these. He doesn't have too much ground force to be able to stabilize against this, but those Stalkers get melted very quickly.
Wow.
How does he have this many Stalkers warping in?
Oh my God, with 19 gateways, MC shuts down the force of 14 Broodlords. It's time for KiLLeR to begin rebuilding. A lot of Overseers, a lot Changelings joining into the force. MC might end up accidentally killing off some of his own. Nope. Looks like he managed to take down all the right things.
And right now we have 7 more Corruptors on the way. 4 Broodlords going to be morphing in here for KiLLeR to be able to continue ramping up that aggression through the middle of the map, at least I hope from his point of view. Because again, if he actually pushes forward towards this 4th base with creep and with spine crawlers, it's so difficult for Protoss to actually engage with those spine crawlers there. I suppose, again, he could try and go for that, multi-pronged harassment, but he still doesn't have any Warp Prisms on the field, so he really can't actually ramp that aggression up himself.
And it looks like a small set of Zealots take a while to be killed off with fungal growths. MC tries to find a hole up on the top side, but there's nothing there to be found. Mothership just now gets restarted, and KiLLeR slowly taking his advantage back again.
Yep, there's a Baneling nest being added on here for KiLLeR to be able to just mix those Banelings in here. And he might end up using drops as well. He already got your pneumatized carapace, but not the ventral sac. So if he actually wants to go for that kind of thing, it would take a little bit of time to actually start researching. He's going to spread some more creep in the middle of the map with this Queen slowly on her way there. And again, this creep spread, in order to be able to protect this base down to the south that he's trying to establish, and the spread through the middle of the base to be able to put on that aggression at his opponent's pivotal base, I will say, is so important here for KiLLeR right now.
And I mean, even now, as MC is slowly adding on more and more Archons, I mean, you can use the Neural Parasite to try to kill off some of those Archons by Neural Parasite. Yeah. Bringing them back to your army, taking those down. Look at the number of Banelings that are in production as well.
That can get a little bit sketchy here for MC, but again, he does have a lot of firepower in these 4 Colossus, and he's even morphing in more Archons here to be able to complement that Mothership once it pops out in just a second. He doesn't have centrifugal hooks, which is a bit of a surprise, but then again, he only recently got the Baneling nest, but look at this.
KiLLeR being a little bit more methodical, a little more careful this game. He's going to be throwing out a big pack of spine crawlers. There's the leading infested Terrans. These are scouting. He's throwing them down to see what force he's possibly up against.
But evidently, he actually can't see that far as it's all cloaked. So he knows now that there is the Mothership present once again, having these Overseers just spread out just across his entire army here. And this is so hard to engage into it for MC because of the architecture, because of the way the Broodlords are spread. It's hard to blink forward against all this, and he loses an Infestor to those Colossus.
Infestor has taken some pretty big damage.
Ooh, nice feedback.
Oh, the feedback volley just... Oh my god, the Infestor numbers are dropping down to almost nothing. He's unable to get that Zerg mothership, and now as we see a bunch of Banelings rolling up, the Archons just take the damage en masse, and KiLLeR, who's doing an even more slow, methodical push, seems unable to break through. MC continues to replenish. The Spine Crawlers dealing massive damage there, what's helping, and there's the Vortex. Oh my gosh, MC was down to 100 supply to Dignitas. KiLLeR's maxed. I don't believe it. Did he actually do this?
How on earth did he break this? KiLLeR just sacrificed so many of those Infestors early on. They pop. Those Broodlords are going to go down. There's no Archons here, but those Stalkers are more than enough to be able to clean them off. Meanwhile, Zergling's running in to try and tank, try and kill off what they can do here. One Archon manages to shred up those Broodlords along with the Stalkers. And for now, MC somehow finds a way through the middle of this map to put pressure on at this base of KiLLeR.
KiLLeR has a lot of Infestors. He just rebuilt many of them. You had 11 in production at the same time, but now there's Archon Stalkers, 4 Colossi, a mothership not with a lot of energy, but still there to add a little bit of cloak and damage of her own. With all those Infestors at the front line getting roasted, there's now 4 Colossus still with 44 kills, 46 and 44. Are you serious? It's the most symmetric Colossus kill count I've ever heard. KiLLeR trying to build only roaches in classic mid-game Zerg fashion, but MC has found the key vulnerability in KiLLeR's army.
And right now, both players still looking pretty sturdy in terms of that income here, but MC just powering forward. There's not enough lava, really. Actually, he has a lot of lava. Why is he not spending this? He needs to crush this army.
20 larva. What is wrong with the hotkeying of his forces? It looks like he even has some unhotkeyed. I mean, where are the larva hanging out? Oh no, the natural expansion. There's all 20 larva.
That is brutal here for KiLLeR. He has the means by which to deal with the army, or he did do, but now with this rising Stalker count constantly reinforcing these Colossus, he's not going to be able to make anything happen here. There's so much damage being spilled out. There you go, GG!
MC taking just snatching a win out of nowhere.
I do... Personally, I attribute that, because I've been in that situation many times before. I love playing macro PvZ and pushing through the middle as a Zerg there with the Spine Crawlers. If you are just a little bit slower with that, trying to slowly eke your way forward. We saw it during the World Championship Series, Combined European Nationals, between Biggs and a Protoss player by the name of Fnatic, what's his name? Night End, kapow, there you go. I don't know why that went.
I would not have been able to help you there, but I'm glad you retrieved the information.
Yeah, man. Well, he was so slow about it. It was like an hour-long game, but there was no way that Night End could actually break that position. And if you constantly push up very, very slowly, as a Zerg, not overextending with their Infestors, it's very difficult for Protoss to deal with. So if he'd have done that, I think we would have seen KiLLeR take the win.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those weird things where more and more as Protosses are getting better with Stalker positioning, Colossus count, not having too many, not having too few.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Vortexes, Archon, general composition. As Protoss are getting better at all the late game things, Zergs are starting to just be passive with Broodlords.
Yeah.
They're no longer attacking. They're no longer trying to just go, I have 10 Broodlords, go! They demand that the Spine Crawlers are part of the push.
Exactly.
Especially on Daybreak, just staying passive, taking the bottom and south expansions. And as MC demonstrated for us in that game, you get a little overeager once, and he'll just clean it all up so easy.
Will do indeed. Congratulations to MC for taking another victory. We shall pass it over to the stage with Jarrett Kale for a little interview.
And I'm standing here with the best human being on planet Earth, SKMC. With Bomber, Supernova, MVP winning their groups, each getting a bye, and 4GG in a very close second in his group, is it the return of Terran dominance?
테란 더미넌스? 테라가 지금 다 올라왔잖아. 그래서 지금 테라가 뭐 지금 테란 더미넌스 OP인지. Terran always in, but
How do you feel about Germany, and particularly the incredible support that you receive from all of your foreign fans everywhere? Why do people love you so much?
I came Germany so much, and I'm superstar and very handsome.
I think so too, man. Have you had a chance to play Heart of the Swarm yet?
하루스랑 게임 해봤는지?
Huh?
하루스랑 해봤는지?
Yeah, I played.
And what do you think about the incoming Protoss changes?
Very good. Mother's Core and Tempest. I love that.
All right, I won't bother you anymore. Good luck in the next rounds. I love you. I didn't say that. I did not say that. I didn't say that. And that's not awkward unless you're Romanian.